Danica, and welcome back to the Writing Nook. I got my vaccine! I officially have the first dose of my COVID-19 vaccine, and I'm super, super excited. So if you live in the US and you are older than 16 years old, you are eligible to get your COVID-19 vaccine. So great vaccine news aside, here's the situation. Camp NaNoWriMo has taken a little bit of a pause, and we're gonna talk about why. So, Camp NaNoWriMo. Because I'm outlining, I'm getting a little stuck. I've reached this interesting point where the decisions I need to make are pretty big, and none of my fundamental ideas about the story answer these questions. I just am having a hard time feeling out what is really going to be best for the story, and I just feel paralyzed by that. And so because I've stopped myself from starting writing and I don't have answers to those questions, there was less motivation to work on it this week. What I ended up doing, because I was in the slump, is I basically took a break from my Nano novel for a few days. And I was like, hey, you don't have to work on this today. Just chill out, let inspiration come to you in new ways, and we will attack this again on the weekend. So it is now the weekend, and what I want to do is go back to my story and try and get a real bird's eye view of what I feel like I should be figuring out, if it really is that necessary to know all of those pieces of information. And then I can see myself taking two different routes. I could either just start free writing and just see if I come up with anything, no pressure. All of it could just be thrown away at the end of the session if I wanted to. Not actually thrown away, like archived. Don't actually throw away any of my writing. Or I could just start working on my scene cards and potentially writing some of the scenes that I have substantial amounts of dialogue for and see where my creativity takes me then. A novel is so hard because it's literally like a hydra. You know, you cut off one head, two more heads grow in its place. And it's hard to know which head to cut off when. Like, do I need to be fully finished outlining? Do I need to be fully finished brainstorming? Or should I start writing? And then I'll get ideas that will take me back to the outline, and then I'll be able to flesh it out more. I don't know if this really makes sense, but it's like hard to know what part to start with and what part to move to when you're stuck on one. The next important ticking time bomb that I have this weekend is I have two books that I have checked out from the library that are due imminently. According to my Kindle, I have about 5 hours of reading left on these books combined. I need to finish them this weekend. So my goal for this weekend is going to be balancing doing my reading, getting back into my Nano novel, and figuring out where I can start attacking and cutting off heads of the Hydra. And also convalescing, because I just got my COVID vaccine and I fully expect to feel a little bit not as good tomorrow. So we'll see how productive I am tomorrow. Hopefully I can get a decent amount of things done today. I have done a little bit of reading already today, but I have not touched my Nano novel. So I would like to start there. It is Sunday now. I did not vlog at all for the rest of Saturday because the vaccine just took me out. I was like so drowsy and tired yesterday. I did get some reading done. I got like an hour and a half of reading through my book, The Midnight Library, which I need to finish by Monday night because it is due. Yesterday, I just kind of took it easy for the rest of the day, went to sleep, slept for a long time, and woke up this morning feeling great. So that is the great news. And now I am getting ready to sit down and work on my outlining. Here's my theory. I think I'm getting lost in the details and I don't have enough details. So in Story Genius, Lisa Crone talks a lot about how specifics beget specifics and generalities do not. I think her idea there is that once you start thinking of specifics, it is easier to think of more. But if you are stuck in generalities, it's basically like you have the blank page. It's like you have too many options. Your brain kind of gets frozen, and so you have a really hard time moving forward. But if you pick something very specific and then just start adding more and more specifics to that idea, you'll be able to get farther faster, and you will feed your creativity instead of feeding your writer's block. So I think I'm stuck in that limbo. Anyone who knows me knows I'm terrible at making making choices. I have a hard time just picking things because I'm afraid that I'm choosing the wrong thing. So I think I need to combine these two concepts for a strategy that will work for me. So what I want to do today is walk through a series of scenarios. I want to give myself permission to get really specific, to make choices, and to see how those choices interact, and then feel comfortable shelving that idea and starting over with a new set of choices. Because I think what I'm afraid of is that I will make the wrong choices and I'll like create a story that I don't like, which is kind of bizarre because like, who makes the choices here? So it just seems like kind of a ridiculous fear to have, but it is definitely something that sits in the back of my mind. So what I'm gonna do right now is I have some sticky notes. I will show you. So I have kind of the beginnings of some sticky notes laid out on my desk that basically have like where I'm starting from and then where I know my novel is going to begin. All of the colored sticky notes that are not yellow are things that are like set in stone. I know this to be true about the story. And the yellow are things that could change. So what I'm gonna try doing is iterate out several different scenarios of getting from A to B with these yellow sticky note specifics and seeing how they kind of like dovetail off each other and what they would impact for the world. And then I'm gonna basically type up that scenario and then peel them up and start over. It remains to be seen if this is gonna be like a good method for me. I've never tried this before, but we are leaning on the theme of this month of trying to take inspiration from Story Genius. And even though this is not like something she recommends in the book, I think her advice, specifics beget specifics, is hopefully going to be really helpful for me right now where I'm feeling very much like the blank page. Let's give it a go. It is the last day of NaNoWriMo. It is also a Friday. So I have realized in looking at my NaNoWriMo stats that I'm a bit of an interesting situation in relation to my NaNoWriMo goal. So according to what I've tracked in NaNoWriMo, I am like 5,000 words away from my goal. But like if I go in Scrivener, you can see that I actually have for April surpassed the 30,000 words that I had set for NaNoWriMo. I think the reason for this is that I've been trying to create an outline in different sorts of ways, and so some words were kind of repeated words, and so I was trying not to count them. I don't know, it's kind of Schrodinger's NaNoWriMo. I both have and have not won. Nevertheless, I'm gonna try and get as many words as I can today and maybe honestly past the NaNoWriMo finish line. One thing that I had wanted to update you guys on was the outlining that I've been doing with sticky notes, and honestly, it was fantastic. It was so helpful to have sticky notes that just feel small and indispensable. When I wanted to change something or move something, I could just pick it up and put it aside. And I did that several times, and that was super helpful. The main downside to it is that I was creating my little sticky note outline on my desk, my work desk. I had a hard time when I had to go to work the next week, and I hadn't really totally finished my sticky noting. So for the first day, I put mats down over my sticky notes so I could kind of work on top of them, but I found that to be really irritating. So I did a little bit more outlining that night, and then I took all of them down, but took a lot of pictures of my outline. And I'm trying to translate it right now into an Excel outline because I think that's the closest I can get to mimic that. It's still not as good. I would honestly rather have it on the sticky notes. And I think that this weekend, I'm gonna go back and put up my sticky notes again and fill in the last few gaps. What could possibly happen that will accomplish what I needed to happen? That is the question. I am really starting to itch to write scenes, but I'm just afraid that if I write it and I don't like what I've written, then maybe I'll like my momentum and my joy for this story, and I won't be able to finish it. Which fundamentally is really just a problem of like dedication. Like if I'm dedicated to it and I work through the hard moments, then like I will be able to finish it. I just need to like create a plan and execute. I that's where I'm at today, but I'm gonna get back to doing a little bit more writing before I go to work. Hey guys, I'm outside because it is a lovely day outside. Not that you guys can see that much of it from like this angle, but I'm enjoying it. So my vlogging skills for Camp NaNo ended pretty abruptly on the last day of Camp NaNo. It is currently a week later. I just wanted to pop in and give you guys a little bit of a wrap up for what happened in Camp NaNo, what I was able to accomplish, and what I feel like I got the most out of this month. So, things I accomplished in Camp NaNo. So for those of you who remember, I switched my projects on the first day of Camp NaNo to a brand new project, and I have been outlining it using partially the Story Genius method by Lisa Crone. So my goal at the beginning of Camp NaNo was to write 30,000 words, but my bigger goal was to try pre-writing and outlining in a way that I never have before to hopefully build a story that I'm really excited about. So on the last day of Camp NaNo, I decided to prioritize writing a scene that I was really excited about instead of writing a whole bunch of words in order to hit the 30,000. So depending on how you count it, I either wrote 28,000 words or 33,000 words. But you know, like I said before, I kind of both did win and did not win. I actually ended up putting in 30,000 words into Camp NaNo so that I could get the little camp sticker. I don't know. Does that make me bad? So in terms of outlining, something I've struggled with all month is how to measure my progress. So I took a little bit of time to think about what I was able to accomplish, and here's what I was able to do. I was able to brainstorm scene ideas for every single act of my story. I have thousands of words of dialogue written for my story. I have multiple characters that are pretty well fleshed out to the point that I feel like I really understand their personalities, even if I don't fully understand their backstory. That is something that still does need work. This month, I also tried 2 different types of physical outlining. The first type that I tried that you saw a little earlier in this vlog was doing the sticky note outlining, which was so helpful. The second type that I tried after that, which I didn't vlog very much, was an Excel version of that, which I actually didn't like as much as the sticky notes, and I think if I were able to use the sticky notes more, I would definitely pick that method. I also tried for the first time ever using scene cards, which are recommended by Lisa Crone, and I really liked them. I have a few scene cards that are already created for my novel. Speaking of, I also tried pre-writing for the first time ever. I really actually enjoyed the process of starting by thinking of this context, this background layer to my story, and I feel like it's given me a real depth of understanding. I also am really proud of myself for following my creativity this month. So as you know, I switched projects, and I think this was the perfect thing to do. I needed to take a step back from my mammoth project order, and try and tackle something that was a little smaller, a little more manageable, a little bit more my speed for the skill set that I'm at right now. My goal is to basically get my first draft done before I go back to project order or another project. I'm leaving open the option that I might table project order for a little while, knowing that I think it's a bigger story than I think I'm capable of dealing with right now, and I need to build my skill set in other ways. So Project Red, I think, is going to be my primary project moving forward. So I think, built like a confidence that I just haven't had for a really long time. I wrote a ton of words in my NaNoWriMo project last year that I think were really important words. Words that basically got me through the gunk, you know, that kind of builds up when you don't use your creative voice for a really long time. NaNoWriMo served that purpose for me, but Camp NaNo really served the purpose of reminding me to follow my creativity and my joy when I am writing. And this month, I have been able to write basically 2 scenes that may or may not honestly ever make it into my novel, but I'm so proud of them. They're the first thing that I have written in 6 or 7 years that I feel proud of, that I feel like actually capture the like feeling, the vibe that I had set out to. They're not perfect by any means, but it was like the reminder that I am capable of writing things that I really love and that if I chase this long enough, maybe I could write a novel full of scenes that I am proud of, to string together a story that really means something to me. I'm not sure, what publishing path I would want to take, or honestly, if I would want to take a publishing path. But I know for sure that what I am chasing is a story and a book that I am really proud of. As far as non-writing achievements, a whole bunch of stuff happened this month. For one thing, I did my very first live streams. I went on Caitlin Ergo's channel and Lovis Geyer's channel and did some live streams with them, and then I hosted my very own live stream the day after Camp NaNoWriMo, which I'm just gonna kind of lump into Camp Nano because it was Camp Nano related, which was honestly so much fun, and I would love to keep doing that in future because it feels like a wonderful way to really connect with you guys and get to just hang out and have the community vibes that I am here for. Also, a whole bunch of you guys joined this channel this last month, which is super exciting. If you are new here, welcome. Please feel free to leave me a comment down below if you haven't already, and let's say hi. I feel like the best thing I got out of Camp NaNoWriMo was getting to meet a whole lot of fellow campers in Caitlin Ergo's Discord and also on YouTube, and being able to cheer you guys on, and just the excitement of being in a writing community full of people who really want to support each other and see each other grow and reach their full potential. So I hope that you had a good month. If you did do Camp NaNoWriMo, leave me a comment down below and let me know, what are you most proud of yourself for achieving in the month of Camp Nano? Whether that's actually achieving your nano goal, or if it's something else, something more non-tangible. But with that, I think I am going to sign off. Thank you all very much for being here and following me along my Camp Nano journey. It's been so wonderful to hang out with you guys, and I hope that you stick around for all of the fun shenanigans that we are going to get up to in the future. I have some interesting ideas planned that I can't wait to share with you guys. So as always, I will see you all right back here very soon. Bye. Specifics beget specifics. Excuse me. Baguette. Does it make sense? Not really. Camp NaNoWriMo, it could be going better. I hope you've been able to hear me. It's very loud outside.